Hello everyone, Miss Griffiths again. Welcome back to our second pod to help you with your Henry VIII revision. Right, today we'll be looking at Henry's second advisor, Thomas Cromwell. Remember to pause and rewind as we go, make some revision cards or mind maps and test yourselves on what you learn. Okay, let's go. As we learnt last time, Wolsey died in 1530. This opened up a job for a new advisor to the king. A dedicated follower and student of Wolsey turned out to be just the right man. Thomas Cromwell, much like Wolsey, came from the peasant class. His father was quite an awful man, with criminal charges for watering down the beer in his pub, as well as being very violent. Thomas left home to Europe in 1503, where he became a soldier for the French, then learnt the skill of trade and negotiation in Florence and Belgium, before becoming a lawyer and returning to England, a wealthy and married man. By 1519, Cromwell had become an important member of Wolsey's council and his most trusted advisor by 1529. This allowed him to gain position in court as a member of the Star Chamber, Wolsey's messenger to the king, and he first became an MP in 1529. His personality was charming. People just told him what they knew. They were impressed by his intelligence, and being a messenger put him close to Henry. When Wolsey fell, Cromwell defended his friend, and this dangerous role earned him Henry's respect. Okay, let's have a quick look at Thomas's timeline. In 1503, he left home, possibly after an argument with his father. He then turns up in France, fighting for the French army. After that, we find him next in Italy, in Florence, working for Francesco Frescobaldi, one of the most powerful families in the whole world at the time. He then moves on to Belgium, where he sets himself up as a trader, charming people with the skills he's learnt in Florence. In 1514, he comes back to England. He's married to a very wealthy lady and sets up a law practice. Even though he has no qualifications, he is very skilled in it. By 1519, we find him working for Wolsey, and in 1520, he's appointed to the Star Chamber, getting closer to the king. Being a messenger for Wolsey to Henry allows him to get Henry's attention, to be respected by him, sometimes have his opinions heard, which is a good starting point for him. In 1523, he becomes MP for the first time. In 1528, his wife and children died. He is definitely Wolsey's top man by 1529, when in the same year he becomes the MP for Taunton, and also his good friend Wolsey dies. Following Wolsey's fall, Henry still had a problem with Anne Boleyn. His marriage to Catherine of Aragon was still valid, and Henry set the task of annulment on some of his very best men. First, the Duke of Norfolk, Anne's uncle, had a go in 1529, but failed, as did the Duke of Suffolk, Henry's best friend, and finally Anne's own father, who'd been made Earl of Wiltshire, also failed. This wasn't helped by Henry's current Lord Chancellor, his old friend and tutor, Thomas More, the devout Catholic who was on Catherine's side. So, in 1531, the case landed on Cromwell's desk. Cromwell had a cunning plan. It might seem simple to us, but it changed how England ran forever. The Pope would never agree, so make the decision in England. Give the decision to Parliament as a problem of law rather than one of religion. But this was a big deal. It could curse all people of England to hell, and it significantly increased Parliament's power, which had only really dealt with issuing taxes in the past and could even call into question the king's role. So, in summary, Cromwell is much like Wolsey. They're both from the lower classes, very intelligent, very charming men who are able to make better of themselves. As well as being extremely clever, Cromwell teaches himself a whole load of special skills that make him just great for court. And what really gets Henry's attention is the fact that he's able to use law and his skills there to get the annulment rather than having to depend on religion.